Hello everyone, I'm Sabrina and my channel name is Lady Marmalade in Stitches. Today is Tuesday the 8th of August, I believe. I hope that's right, I did have a look. And I'm filming from the state of Victoria in Australia. For all of those that are new, if you're a subscriber, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my video and subscribe. It just means so much to me, and all those wonderful comments. I just love the comments. I love reading the comments. I just want to say thank you once again. This is going to be my first regular floss tube, and I do have a few things planned for this floss tube. Now you may see me leaning to my left or to my right because I kind of have things scattered around here in my room. So please excuse me if I do that. So plans today, I've got everything written in my diary. It's just a really pretty, it's a Kiki K diary that my daughter purchased for me for Christmas. So that's what I've been using just to make a note of everything that I'm working on and just things that I need to talk about in this. Sorry, I'm trying to make myself comfortable. Things that I need to talk about in this floss tube. My week's been good. I've had a couple of not so good days with pain, but that's okay. I just have to deal with it. That's part of my life now. But I've had some great days. Went to the cinema with my partner, so we kind of had a date night, which was fantastic. We went to what we call here in Australia, it's a gold class cinema. I don't know if you've got it anywhere else in the world, but let me know. I'd be interested. The gold class, so we have about 15 lounges, maybe even more, and there's a set of 2 lounges in the cinema, and you can order drinks and food, and I'll bring it into you at whatever time throughout the movie that you want to. It's just wonderful. It's a great experience. We went to see Oppenheimer. What a wonderful movie. Really enjoyed it. So that was great to have a date night. We haven't actually had one for a while. So today I'm going to show you a kitted project that I actually forgot. It was in another place. So I'll start off with that. I have a start and an FFO. I'll show you a couple of other finished objects that I have. I have some WIPS followed by plans. So that's what I plan to do today. So hopefully it'll all go quite smoothly. So let's start with the kitted project that I actually forgot to show you. I'm going to bend over and just grab it. Now the reason I forgot to show you is because I had it in the bag ready to go. I haven't actually started it as yet. Now this is a mirabilia called the Snow Queen. Now with the Snow Queen, I actually don't have a photo for you, but you can see just over there which one it is. So I have all the beads. I decided to purchase the bead pack. I also have, excuse me while I ruffle through my bag, I have most of the threads that I need for this project, and I decided to purchase from 123 Stitch. It's a 28 count called French Rain Linen, and that's it there. Sorry, it's a bit crinkled. It's just been in the bag. It's a lovely color. I really like that. So that's what I plan to stitch it on this fabric. So I have everything. This is pretty much ready to go. I just have to take a copy of the actual pattern and include that in there. So that's a planned start. Excuse me once again. Another kitted whip I didn't show you. I had actually started this, but I probably put about 3 stitches in, so I don't regard it as a whip. This particular pattern is called Mother Moon by Joan Elliott. And that's a picture of it right there. Now, Mother Moon uses Quaker and quite a lot of lovely different types of threads. I am stitching Mother Moon on 18 count fabric by River Hut on Etsy. Like I said, I've just done a couple of stitches. I put it down, I think I wasn't actually feeling that well that day, and so I just did, this is a Quaker, and I just did a few stitches, not many. So it's barely a start. This is a printed fabric. I have all the threads in Flosstube bags. So they're all there. And I know it comes with Quaker. Here it is. I'm just trying to find everything in my bag. It's kind of spilt out everywhere. I have 2 Quakers. Just trying to see. It's like a purple and a gold. And I have 2 lots of beads as well. So this is ready to go. I should just pick it up and continue. Like I said, I think I just wasn't well that day, and it was probably just a little bit too difficult for me, for my brain. So that's what happened. I'm just looking down at my notes because I've got everything written here, so hopefully I won't forget anything. The next is a finish. I started and I finished this. It's called Poppy Biscornu by the Tiny Modernist. So that's what I have made. It's so cute. I love the colours. I've never made a Biscornu, and I really just wanted to try and make one. I've made other little cushions, but I've never made a Biscornu. This is stitched on a scrap piece of 18 count Aida, and if I'd known, I would have maybe chosen a lower count because it's tiny, it's cute, it's beautiful, but it's tiny. I've used all of the called for threads. As you can see, the poppies are just gorgeous. I've added a button, and that's the little poppies on the side. It's tiny, it's beautiful, I still love it. I think that maybe next time I'll just choose a count, maybe a 16 count as opposed to an 18 count, just to make it a bit bigger. But oh, it's just so beautiful. Oh, I just loved it. I had so much fun creating this. Now, it's going to go in here. These are all the cushions that I have stitched up and created. Now, as a part of this Flosstube, I'd like to go through these cushions and just show you what they are, where they're from, and whatever I can remember, because at this time I wasn't actually taking notes. So I'll try and remember as much as I can. Some I can. There's probably one that I don't know. So the first one, excuse me while I lean over, is from Brenda Gervais Love Notes. So I have actually signed up a couple of more of these. I'd actually like to do a few more. I wouldn't mind doing that one right there. So that's my next planned one. I love these ones. Brenda Gervais is just a phenomenal designer, absolutely phenomenal. So that's mine there. You probably notice I have removed the birds at the top. I've just put in some of the rickrack. It has a floral backing and some love heart buttons. So that's one of her designs from that particular pattern. Another one that I created was this one here. I kept it quite plain. I just added that love heart pendant there. That's all I did to it. And I just added a fabric. It had a bit of red in it. I think that's probably why I chose it. So that's another one from that pattern, Brenda Gervais. And if I just bring the pattern over again, so you have the Be Mine, which is that one there, and that one there with all the love hearts. So that's what I've done. The next cushion, I'm just looking at my notes here, which I've written down, is called Shakespeare's Peddler and Antique Cups and Spoons. I love this range of Shakespeare's Peddler. As you can see, it's on an 18 count. I don't know the name of the fabric. I have embellished it just with some lace here and this around here. Sorry if you can hear my dog bark, and she's just entered the room and she's going to look outside the window. I may have to stop the video, I may have to pause it for a moment. And at the back of it, I have just added teacup fabric. So that's it there. I can't remember. It's an over-dyed thread that I chose for the cups. You can see the variegation even in a teapot. So that's it there. Another one from Shakespeare's Peddler is Antique Locks and Keys. I actually used the same fabric, an 18 count. I used a black silk, which I inherited from my mother-in-law. I don't even know what the name was. It was a funny type of thread to use. I can't say I really enjoyed it, but I did it. It's kind of a black, as you can see, thread. I've added a little lock, a bit of the lace embellishment, and I've just added a striped fabric. So that's it there from Shakespeare's Peddler. The next one is from Luminous Fibre Arts, and it's called Gathering Berries. Now what I decided to do with this, I actually sewed the flowers in a yellow. I just thought I'd give it a try. I've added the buttons as per the design, and this looks like it's on a possibly 16 count or maybe even a 14 count Ada. And I've just added this floral fabric at the back, and that's it there from Luminous Fibre Arts, Gathering Berries. And the next one is called Quaker Bees, and it's From the Heart. This was the very first one I did. I haven't stuffed it properly. I actually didn't know what to do with this one. I was just trying out this fabric that I had purchased. It's an 18 count, and I just chose some threads, and I couldn't even tell you what threads they are. So playing around once again with colours, fabric. One of my very first cross stitches actually, and I didn't want to frame it. I didn't know what to do, so I made it into a pillow. I've added this edging on it, and it's on, they look like moths to me, just that fabric there. That's all I had at the time. I haven't even stuffed it properly, but it's still cute. I still love it. The design's beautiful. I love stitching Quakers. Actually, Quakers are one of my favourite patterns to stitch on. Now the next one, I don't have a name for this one. I inherited this from my beautiful mother-in-law who passed away, and she had already started this, and I decided to complete it. So that's it there. I added her initials in the centre. I think she just had like a couple of partial flowers. I sewed it onto this daisy blue fabric So this is for my beautiful mother-in-law. I have here just some floral things here. That's a butterfly and that's a love heart pin. So in memory of my mother-in-law. So these are my fully finished cushions, and that's just something which I will throw in at the beginning of every Flosstube as long as I have something to show you. I may reach a point where I've shown you everything and I don't need to show you anything anymore. Okay, moving on are my WIPS. Now I'm just going to take a look at my, so I don't have much room here. I kind of have to place everything. All right, so I'm going to move on to my WIPS that I have stitched since my first video. Now, the first one is the Lord's Prayer. And the Lord's Prayer is by My Big Toe. It's stitched on 18 count Ada called All the Things by Mystic Fabrics. I started this in June of 2022 and I'm using all the call for needlepoint silk. This was a birthday gift from my partner, and yes, I chose a needlepoint silk. I mean, you might as well go all the way, but he's a very generous man. I started this a couple of days ago, and what I'm doing, I might have to just pull this out so I can show you what I've done. I'm working at the bottom. I'll move the pattern because you don't want to see the pattern. I'm working along the bottom of the pattern. So what I've done is I've actually stitched and completed all of that up to here. I have started stitching the letters A and M, so that's Amen, and I've stitched this border. So I'm going to continue on with this. The page I'm working is just a partial page, so I would like to complete the partial page and maybe even move on to the following page. That's the plan. I want to get a bit of a move on this one. It's been lingering around. It should really be finished by now. It's not that complicated. So that's the plan for this one, is to stitch a little bit more on this one. The next one that I worked on is, I think it's called Midnight by Riolas. Oh, I didn't do a great deal of work on this one, and it's this one here. The reason I worked in this one is because I had made a mistake, and I really just wanted to fix the mistake. So it was a matter of pulling out the stitches where the mistake was and just restitching it, and that's really what I did. So not much difference to when you saw it in my whip parade. These are the stitches I've had to pull out and I've just had to redo. So I've just done that. So now it's kind of ready to go. I don't have to worry about, oh, I've got to pull those stitches out still and recount. I did that, and that is what I wanted to do, and I'm glad that I did. The next one is, this is lost its tag. Okay, this is Mermaid's Folly. Now, I only worked once on Mermaid's Folly. Now, when I say once, it could be 1 hour, 3 hours, 5 hours. It depends, but it's only once, like one day that I've worked on it. And this is Mermaid's Folly, and I'm doing that one over there from Mermaid's Folly. This is stitched on 18 count Ada called Old Gold by the Stitching Spot, and I started this in July of 2023. So what I've done is I've continued on here. I've done that, and I've also stitched that bit there, which is the corner bit. So that's Mermaid's Folly. I love this piece. I enjoy working on just a one colour thread. It's just so much easier than changing over all the time. And also the back is a lot neater as well. The next one is Bothy Threads Happy Place. I've worked on this 3 times or 3 days. Once again, it could be 1 hour to 5 hours on the day. This is my focus piece. It's beautiful. I would like to have this done for when we go away in our new caravan. It's very excited. This is stitched on, I'll pop this at the back, on the kit Ada, which is 18 count, and all the threads that came with it. I've basically stitched this bit here, so that's all new. So that bit there is there. So I have stitched all of that side, so I am now stitching that side there. I love stitching this. It just makes me so happy. It's beautiful. Okay, the next WIP that I worked on is a Carolyn Manning, and I worked on the Carolyn Manning twice. It's called Shooting Star. So Shooting Star, and it's sunset, so I'm doing that big one in here. Now this is on an 18 count Ada called Blood Orange by The Stitching Spot. Started September 2022. And I'm still working on the same page. Sorry for the threads. So I'm working down, that's the end, that's the bottom of the pattern. So I've done about that much there. So that's what I've done so far. So I'll just keep working on that until I reach the bottom of the page, and then I'll just move over to the next page. So those are my WIPs that I worked on. Not a great deal, but any progress is progress. Now the next thing I would like to show you is a new start. Yes, I am going to do a new start. I've been thinking about this for such a long time, and this is called, I think it's called Oven, and this was a kit that I just absolutely fell in love. I'm going to be starting this using the kit fabric, and the kit is using, I've got a feeling it's number 16, could mean 16 count, but I'm not too sure. So that is going to be a new start. How beautiful is that? Oh, I love it. I mean, I love all my WIPs. It's so hard not to start. I keep wanting to start them. I know I say that, broken record, isn't that right? Okay, so that's it for now. I'd like to talk about plans. So my plan is to keep my Bothy Threads Happy Place as a focus. I'm going to start on my new start, the oven piece with the floral, and I decided I'm going to spin the wheel for 2 more projects because I need to stitch on my other projects and not just stitch on the same ones all the time. So I'm going to spin the wheel this time. I'm going to see how I go, and if I do stick to it. If not, you'll know next time. I'm going to grab my phone. I have a wheel set up on my phone with all my projects, so I'm just going to open it up. It's called WIPS Selector. I'm going to spin it twice, and those 2 projects will be included as my WIPs. So there I go. and it's going, and it's come up as She Sleeps. So She Sleeps is, I think it's, no, not that one. I do have them all here on the floor. Okay, so She Sleeps. I'm going to continue working on that one there by Marichka. So I'll just continue from where I am. I don't know how many stitches I'll do. I haven't decided. I will think about it at the time. So that is also going to be my whip. I'm going to spin the wheel one more time. And it's come up with Mermaid's Folly, which I just showed you. So my whips will be my Happy Place, my New Start, Marichka She Sleeps, and Mermaid's Folly. Now I can't include any other whips at the time, but those I really do want to try to work on. So that's my plan. I'd like to say thank you for staying right through my video. I hope you like it. If you do, thumbs up, very important. I need those thumbs. Please comment, let me know what you think. This is all kind of trial and error. Where do I video? I've tried videoing in another room, but it didn't quite work. So I've got a feeling this is the place to do my filming. Have a wonderful day. Keep smiling. Be kind. Bye.